Before jumping into the chapter, let's do everything we need to first at the monastery. The first free day on chapter 5 is Fistfuls of Fish Day. Try saying that 5 times quickly. That means we're getting way more payoff per bait than we normally would, and this is when we want to normally spend our bait. The goal here is to catch as many bullheads as we can, as those boost speed when you cook them. Since every bait stronger than a pond snail has the chance to catch bullheads, we're going to make sure that we're pulling at least 2 bullheads per bait. Since you can save scum fishing, which is essentially just resetting and reloading to get a new fish every time, we're going to do this for every bait to ensure we get bullheads. This was incredibly unfun, but it's going to be worth it in the end when we're aching for speed later on. In case you guys were wondering, I reset about 20 or so times, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But fishing did help me boost to a professor level C, which means we can plant more seeds in the garden, meaning we have a higher chance of getting stat boosters every week, which is nice. This also means we have access to adjutants now, and while the adjutant effect itself isn't going to be too noticeable, it will allow us to get more XP than we normally would, since the adjutant paired up with the main unit is going to get the same amount of EXP. We also now have access to the Renown statues after completing quests in the monastery. Since EXP is hard to come by, we're going to make sure we get every EXP plus 5% bonus, as well as the class skill bonus.
You're all set to this one. You're all set to this one.
We're also going to need to recruit Catherine this chapter. Since the demonic beast we're going to have to fight has a lot of HP, we absolutely are going to need more damage. As such, we're devoting as much time as possible to getting her support up to B so we can recruit her from level 9, which means a lot of T. Catherine has some insane bases when we recruit her, along with having Thunderbrand, so bringing her along is a pretty good decision. I also ended up asking Petra for mission assistance and ended up recruiting Cyril, but they both ended up not really being needed, so I'll probably have to find a new Wyvern Lord, and it'll probably be Sethith.
Hey, Professor, at the same, I bet we'd get along. Feel free, Thunderbrand.
Anyways, let's get started with this chapter. Normally this chapter is a bit of a slog, and I say that a lot because it's kind of true, especially with these early chapters. Even with Stride, with this chapter, it does end up kind of being a slog since you have to go around the entire chapter just to get to the boss, but thankfully we have a nifty tool here called Warp. Using Stride and warping Catherine as close to the boss as possible will allow her to reach him and kill him within a turn, so all our other units are just going to get as much EXP as possible before she does that. Killing this first boss will essentially shift us to phase 2 of the map, and when this happens, all units are able to move again and retain all buffs from the previous phase. This includes Stride, and its 5 movement.
Leave it to me.
Also, just so you guys are aware, Miquelon does have a smallish crit chance, but it's there, and sometimes this can happen. A bit of planning was needed to figure out which units needed to be where after the phase change. Some units are going to end up further away than the boss than others, so care needs to be taken to figure out what are the best spots for each unit to be in. You're going to see a lot of red lines because all of the enemies that we didn't kill are still on the map after the phase change. A little claustrophobic, but it's not going to be a problem. The only thing we really need to do is kill one of the units that's blocking the way for Lysithea and Catherine, and we're going to do that with Leonie and Hilda. After that, we're going to focus on killing these barriers on these beasts. We're going to have Ignatz and Cyril using Resident Lightning and Resident Fire on the barriers to kill all the barriers and get that Umbral Steel. We're using Ignatz and Cyril in particular because we don't really need them to get that much EXP. I would rather prioritize the EXP on the other units we're going to have attack the beast with. Most notably, Lysithea, who has Seraphim thanks to her really high faith rank, and that's going to be doing a lot of damage to the beast. Every other unit that's going to be attacking this boss also has a monster effective combat art, which makes killing the boss a lot easier, and we're going to end up having enough damage to take down the first 2 health bars of the boss. Additionally, the beast gives a lot of experience, so we're funneling all of that experience into units we actually need the experience in, most notably Lysithea and Byleth, and also Claude.
You might have overdone it.
The hard part was figuring out how to deplete the first 2 health bars. Since Catherine is just going to come in with Thunderbrand at the end, we're going to need to deal 108 damage worth of HP, which is just 54 HP twice, to ensure the map is clear. Never change Claude, never change with your useless level ups. Also, we can't leave Marianne out to dry. She has a free turn, so she's just going to poke at this Armor Knight real quick and get a level up. Finally, we have Catherine come in, and she's going to deal a lot of damage to this demonic beast, and it's going to die. Fun fact, I actually did a Lunatic run before starting this LTC run. If you're wondering how I did Lunatic, I have a modded switch. And this chapter in particular took 47 turns. So this was definitely a nice change of pace. That was chapter 5 and 1 turn.